Welcome everyone. This is the second stream with Modern Horizons 3 cards, obviously for Legacy. The main deck is the same as what I played last time. That was Thursday night, so about 3 days ago. Or actually Friday, Saturday, 4 days ago. Main deck, like I said, is the same. I think it ran really smoothly. The sideboard is a little bit different. Last time we had the diversified sideboard, but as you know, the Necro dominance decks become more and more popular. I think Force of Vigor is by far the best card that we can play in the matchup, and it is flexible enough in other matchups. So similar to Thoughtseize and Snuff Out, I'm going up to 4 because it's just a lot better than the alternative. Now, I played the Vexing Bauble in the maps to Delver slash Fair Blue decks slots, but I found them to be kind of medium to poor against the combo decks. So the idea is, if we can stomach it, maybe we just don't need to have perfect mapping against Delver and just not respect Delver, not respect control. I think we're gonna beat them anyways. Just like, bring in a Thoughtseize or something against Delver, bring in like a Force of Vigor or Snuff Out against control. And I don't. Initially, I was gonna play 3 Mindbreak Traps tonight, and then I looked at my replays real quickly about in recent losses, and I think Mindbreak Trap is a card that if your opponent knows you have it, is quite easy to play around. Obviously, they can't always play around it, but unless you have like the turn 1 something into the turn 2 Thoughtseize, it's generally not great. So I think what I'm gonna try is like Chancellor the Annex. It's probably worse than my trap, but I just want to give it a shot tonight just to give it its fair shake. Could be very bad, I don't know. But like, I feel like most of the hands with Necro Dominance, if they have it, they're gonna go Ritual into Dominance, and they're gonna draw 19 and have Pack of Negation up. So the Mind Trap is like kind of useless. Now, it doesn't always play out that way, but it just feels bad, right? Especially when you're holding that thought, so you just gotta get to turn 2, is all. All right. With that said, let's go ahead and just run it. We play a lot of combo. That could be good. I guess the league will end short. I don't think this is the end of the world if we don't have. We just have to hope not to draw these suboptimal cards, right, against Control and Delver. I think Thoughtseize is probably okay. Control, I guess we can keep in like. I don't know, I guess it depends on the version too, but like. Either Endurance or Force of Vigor. I kind of hate Force of Vigor because it's like reactive, but it's like okay against some of these Beans decks. Endurance, I mean, depends if they have Uro or not. Like, maybe we'll flip a coin. It's taking a lot of Q tonight for some reason. Never mind, since I've been paired. Noxim I don't know, Umbra. This is a virtual 5 already. Better. I don't know what they're on. And nor do I really care, to be honest. It's more so for practice. Boseiju. Oh, they're on lands. Alright. I feel good about this matchup. Maybe not game 1, but overall. It used to be I dreaded pairing the lands. But I think the matchup has gotten significantly better. It's with It's gotten better period because we just like, you know, we've built the deck better and realized like our bad cards and boarded better. But just Wight of the Reliquary is also really insane against them. Just like Knight of the Reliquary is. Also, Talon Gates means we don't like aren't as easily cheesed out by a random Merit Lage. Like right now. I think we are dead. That is the vibe I'm getting. We're probably dead, but like, what can you do? Should be a crowd rotation here. Nope. Okay. I guess if we were playing as if we weren't dead, maybe we leave with the Artisan because we don't want them to needle the Knight. That said, yeah, I guess if maybe we leave with the Artisan because we don't want them to needle the Knight. But then again, the Artisan represents probably lethal pretty soon too. One thing the Knight does is it does if they get a needle, they can't get like what's the thing called? The boots or something, right? Or map. Like Artisan, they can easily deal with because of Tabernacle. Like Artisan's not particularly great in this matchup because your mana's tied up. So I guess it really depends. Like, do we think they're gonna play scare or are they gonna be more aggressive? All right, they're playing scared. Okay. What is it? All right, they're gonna buff their creature. That's fine, I think. Hey Jack, how's it going? There is no answer to Needle. We can probably not with it. There's no way they have another Needle. Could they possibly have? Hey, 019. So one good thing about sequencing it the way we did is, I mean, they were gonna Needle regardless of like what we did, like either the Knight or the Artisan. So in a way, they don't like cut us off waste. They don't wasteland our cradle here. Artisan's almost better. Yeah, I'm only on two. And I thought about going to one to be honest. You think Current Ranger's too good to cut now with Wight? I mean, why is that? Hmm. Do we even care? We take. Yeah, I guess we block one. Just to keep grabbing a land now. I mean, I play a high land count. So I'm not like that's like nice to have. I think not a to me not a must. Like you're talking about when you're at only a one land hand, right? Like to me the how I mitigate that is I just play a higher land count. Obviously, there's times where you just don't have it, but I think I don't always want to draw is a problem. It's better now because of the mortuary, but given that we still have the artisan, sure. Yeah, see, this is what I mean by artisan's pretty bad against tabernacle. We're not. Well, we're probably dead. No, like Reclaimer has not. Maybe I'm not interpreting what you're saying. For me, a general barometer is like how often do I tutor for a card, and Korean Ranger, the amount of times I tutor for it's not high enough for me to play. We're probably dead. I don't see how we're winning this game. What do we even get here? I don't even think it's just Queen Ranger. I think just in general, our philosophies have been different with regards to deck building. I think right now I'd rather have QR than Shepherd. If you pick me between, if it's between those two, I'd rather have QR. I just think Shepherd's not very good. It's like hard to me. It's a one mana 1/1, almost always. It doesn't do anything by itself. Also, I think a good like Delver player, for instance, will force your turn one play, whatever it is, if they don't have removal. The good thing for us, I guess, is like most players just don't know that. All right, what are we doing here? Probably should have blocked with the Reclaimer now that I think about it. I don't think it really matters though. I think we're just like dead regardless. Shepherd combos with no. Yeah, I mean, so does anything. But we're probably dead. We didn't know our opponent, and they were on the play, I believe. We had a slower hand. Let me see. Yep, we were on. We were. All right, we're just dead. The good thing is we can cut this now. There's like reason to maybe one is okay. I don't know. Just get this out of here. It's debatable we want even artisan at all. Like it's not games like that where I just hate artisan. Then like I trust mods too. All right. Do I want the fourth force, which is kind of awkward if you draw multiples, or the first artisan? How's White been so far? I think it's like it's obviously not good against anything you play, Max. But I think it's really good. It's enough where I'm like consider going down as zero artisans. It's that good. Because like it doesn't take mana like the way a Fiend Artisan. There's a reason why Fiend Artisan has not really been in any deck besides Gaia's Cradle deck, right? Like we've adopted it, and Maverick to an extent has adopted it because they have Gaia's Cradle, like sort of, as well. But there's a reason why it's not played in any other deck because they don't have the mana. Okay, I'm gonna debate. Do I want the Artisan? Do I want the third force? I think between Endurance and Force, it's a lot of like reactive cards, right? Let's just keep the one Artisan. And in Moth we trust, right? I mean, it depends on what kind of elf player they are, right? If they are like your traditional elf, you know, assemble three card combo player, then yes, I understand why they would not like it because it's not an elf and doesn't fit that kind of gameplay. Uh, Not great, but the other cards are really good, so I'm gonna keep. Although I will say, I think historically speaking, um, I'm probably in the minority in terms of a lot of the deck building considerations compared to other Gaia's Cradle players. I think that's probably accurate. I think a lot of people do not like my deck building philosophies. Mostly because they're not as fun, right? Like, a lot of my choices are not as fun. Oops. With regards to the Chancellor, that is more so I just didn't want to register Mind Break. I feel like they play around it anyways if they see you even have one. So I'm trying something else just for fun. It's funny too because these lands players have been. I can tell that a lot of elf players struggle against lands because a lot of these lands players will like turn one Crowd Pro or Tabernacle, pause. Like I think they expect me to concede on the spot. Like when they turn one Crop for Tabernacle, and I just like I wait for them, and they just like wait a minute. This player hasn't conceded yet. I guess they're playing through it. All right. What do we want to do here? I think we just want to keep these two, and we can stack the thing. I mean, as long as you're respectful of others' philosophy to each their own. Yeah, I think that's accurate. Like I mean, disagree with people, but like people can do whatever they want. I think I'm over trying to convince people to do one thing or another because I think it's just a waste of time. I think there's just always going to be things. You're not always going to be able to please everyone. It's the old Queen Ranger sacked with Tabernacle. I mean, this would be like elementary for anybody who's played elves, but like it's the same trick as sacking the Dryad Arbor with a trigger on the stack, right? Except you're doing it with the Wight now. No, it's the same trick. It's 2/2 here. I think we just bash. Actually, I should have maybe been first. They got technically endurance here. Maybe that's sloppy. Like they like to leave an endurance randomly against me, so probably should not attack. Speaking of the devil, I don't think we want it. I think we want to focus on just winning the game. Sure. What do we want here? I don't like getting the arbor because of the tabernacle. Like it ends up like costing us, so I just get the bayou in case they like do it again or something. Actually, there's arguably more clicking going on here, Max. In general, because of talent gates, it's not as bad now to hardcast. I mean, like it comes up like enough, right? But it's probably more so now, slightly. But I think against lands, you shouldn't expect to hardcast that track. I've done it, but it's just like they're probably gonna try to aggressively wasteland you because they feel nervous if you have too much mana. Like right now, that's not even a line like in contention yet. Maybe like in 2 to 3 turns, I would think about the hardcast attractor line, but it's kind of hard when they have a tabernacle. All right, they're playing defensively. Sure. I think same thing here, right? Like, I'm gonna do that. Let that thing. Well, we can sack it, I guess. It's probably more efficient if we. Well, we can. We for sure need to hit the loam. So with that in mind, I think I'm gonna do that and just like bog it now. We couldn't do that last turn because we didn't have enough mana. We have to hit the loam with the exploration out. Um, Actually, okay, that maybe that's a mistake. Well, they're gonna get needle anyways, so might as well. And just maximize our mana here. I think we'll get the cradle again. No. There's no way to do that without like using our mana super efficiently there. We're just gonna try to grind through their wastelands here. The good thing is the tabernacle is gonna affect them if they try to make tokens too. The thing is like some lands players get nervous when you like just continue playing because they just expect you to concede like to a tabernacle. Sure. We don't have any black, so I haven't played Caracas in a while. I think it's like really bad. I don't, the only time I play Caracas is like to deal with Godok T. I would because it's so slow and it's like pretty narrow in my opinion. All right, they can play 2/2/2s. The knight is a 6/6, so I think that's fine. We're gonna bash. We can't really bash with the well. Can we? We can bash with the reclaimer too, or probably no need to. Hold it up for cradle. Yeah, especially with Talon Gaze now, I just don't think you need Caracas anymore. I think the card is not worth the trouble. It's slow. It's like kind of narrow. Doesn't doesn't cast green spells. Lot of issues with that card, in my opinion. Yeah, like I said, I liked it for Godok Teague as an answer, but you don't need that anymore, right, with Talon Gates. Speaking of which, that card Talon Gates is like a very underrated addition to our deck because it just answers so many problems that this deck had before. Namely, like a Godok Teague is like very difficult to answer. Sometimes Merit Lage was a problem if they have it fast. What else? Containment Priest sometimes is an issue. Like now you just like end step, knock out their Hate Bear and you just like win the game, right? I think it should be Reliquary, right? One is free, the other is not. Sure. I'm hitting this because it's actually dead already, right? Like they have a cage and what's it called? We only have arbors as targets. You're more than welcome to try Jack. I just am not a fan of. I just want all my cards to like be a threat on their own, and I don't think Yavimaya is a threat on its own. Queer Ranger now I would say is like close to a threat on its own in a later game because of the Surveil land. So like my most recent 5-0 prior to Modern Horizons actually had two Queen Ranger, but I don't think Maya is a good card is the problem. And I just want to play all good cards. What are they getting here? Stage probably? Wasteland? Okay, sure. How many wastelands did they burn through already? Oh, they burned through the two Boseiju, I guess. Alright. Nothing I can do. They needled the Reliquary, so. That's pretty good. Doo-doo-doo. Actually, it doesn't do anything here. They're just gonna grind through their. They're just trying to keep us off Guy's Cradle, and I think the way this game is playing out for us, they're playing a little too defensively, and we, at some point, can answer this cage or not. Oh, they just drew the stage, I guess. Actually, they probably had it and just didn't have the mana and just like didn't want to die. Uh, we're gonna do it again and hopefully buy some time. Where's the Guy's Cradle? That's the last one. I think, what are we doing here? I think we're gonna do that and pay it this way. So they can't like randomly. Obviously, they could have just done it anyways, like end step card rotation for Wasteland, but in case they like missed it. They can make a Merit Lage here. It's not all, the end all be all. Pass. Do we have a, yeah, we have enough mana, so I might as well do that. Just pass. They make a Merit Lage here. We're gonna phase it out, buys a turn, but that cage is like. I think they don't really don't want to lose our deck. That's why they're playing cage. I guess it's good against Rescaminator too. Did we just not draw any of our Force of Vigors this game? Or any of our Endurance? I guess we only had three Force of Vigor and four Endurance. Maybe we kept a slow hand. I felt like it was fine. How was Vexing Bauble? It's like good in the fair matchups. It didn't do enough for me in the unfair matchups. I feel like the combo decks that are popular at the moment are not really hit by it that hard. Like for instance, Necro can just win through it. I'm gonna call their bluff. I don't think they have Sajiris. Not yeah. I don't know, like LQR or whatever. That Basiju was actually quite annoying this game. Oh. So what do you think of the current sideboard? And if you aren't impressed, possible. Literally this is the first time playing it with Chancellor, so I can only speak on the previous one. I think the deck is like fine. I think if like Oops was really popular, but it had a pretty bad day on Sunday. I think if Oops was did well, I would be a little bit more concerned because I think we can beat the Necro decks. Like Force of Vigor is really good. I don't think I'm scared of any particular deck right now, except unless maybe that Oops All Spells if it's the real deal. But it had kind of a poor showing on Sunday. I think we're dead here. Like the cage is locking us out of the game, and we didn't draw the Force of Vigor to deal with it. That buys some time. but not a lot. The problem is like the problem is we can't answer the cage and kill them the same turn. So I think we're actually drawing dead here. Um, Actually, probably not. They have a bog. No, actually, they use a bog already. Not gonna play around their endurance. So the way this game played out, I think going forward, I want the full set of Force of Vigor to hit the needle and the cage because they have locked up our best cards, like the needle on the Reliquary and the cage on our tutors. So I think, given the testing that was done right now, forget the artisan, just play Force of Vigor. Just make sure you draw it. We drew pretty poorly for what it's worth. Like, did not draw like a relevant card and got our only relevant cards needled. The Saga plus the Tavern, not the locking up the Saga backed by Wastelands hitting our Cradle early is what did us in because we never got developed a board, and then they were able to essentially reduce the game to get to cage. Right, that was their game plan. Like just survive until cage is on the board, and live. Question is, do we want to put the stage back or the bog back in there? I don't think it matters. We're probably just drawing dead, like because of that cage. We can't, like I said, kill the cage and kill them the same turn, and we don't have the mana to because of the tabernacle to huff them naturally. We need a card that has like reach and disenchant on the same on the same text. I'm sure there's a green card out there, but like then again, you have to draw it naturally again, right? We're not playing PYP, but it's not like we drew the cards that would have replaced PYP anyways, right? That would, yeah. So like I said, PYP it would be like a Force of Vigor instead of it, and we didn't draw that anyways here, right? That's okay. I think the lesson learned was I think given that the hate that they could play, let's just next time we play a pair in this matchup, we just play for boarding all four forces and then just essentially dare them right to. The problem is they have the Caracas too, right? Like we can't even hard cast that Traxa. They just bounce and then we're dead. See, this is what I mean, right? We can't hard cast the hoof if we wanted. 4, 5, 6. All right, now we're just dead. We're just concede. They just played. They just turtled up, and we just didn't draw her out. It happens. I think yeah, I said the lesson learned here is I think we have to play all full force of it so that doesn't happen to us because the cage and the needle are both tutorable, so we just have to assume they're gonna have it. It was rough that they had both, because he had double Saga hand. We can beat one or the other. It's hard to beat both. I mean, it's here on the deck list. You can just click on the stream decker. Sure. Not one land too many, but sure. Three is a cut. Three of a kind. I think this player usually plays Delver. I hate pairing into anybody who double queues. It's such a waste of our time. Grief, sure. So the thing is, like, if they turn to Bowmasters us, like, we can go for the potential blowout. If they, we can do two things. We can either go double Hierarch into Bin, or we can play the Fiend Artisan, dare them to do it, and then we flip. It's kind of a disaster. Let's do it the other way. Yeah, if we miss off the Artisan, it's kind of a disaster. Off the Windswept Heath, and hope they just take the bait here with all the triple dork. Sure. I guess I'm not used to the new play patterns. I guess I should have done Fiend Artisan because they don't have the thing anymore. The Bowmasters, which is funny, right? I know, right? So we kind of potentially screwed ourselves there. So this is the first time I'm playing against Frog with this list. They want a Bane card, sure. I don't think I care. They want to trade with it. I messed that up. I should declare attackers first before fetching. Okay, they got that off the board. Sure. Are they going to Murktide at me right now or what? I think they are. And they're going to be in for a Rude Awakening because I'm going to attract to them right now. They might have the Stifle, which is annoying if they do. Cradle, Natural Order, Endurance. We played a land already, done. They should be conceding, right? This is how they're gonna beat this. Yeah. Alright, we F'd that up, but we did not get punished. So, like I said, we should have. We're one thing that was lucky was I think we were on the play. Yeah, we were. So we were on the play, and that's what. Yeah, they have Delver secrets. Like I said, we gotta test like just how much leniency we have in this build, right? I haven't played against Psychic Frog yet, for what it's worth, out of like Delver. I just like this tells you I'm not respecting the matchup. I just don't even have enough cards, right? Don't think I want that. I don't want Collector Oof, and just maybe like I don't think I want to draw Chancellor. So I think we just board in two C's. Just like total disrespect for Del. I just don't even have enough cards. I don't care about you, right? Uh, we didn't see red for what it's worth. Maybe they just didn't fetch it. I don't like boarding and snuff out when I haven't, if I don't know for sure they have DRC. Like, it's probably okay, but it could be real bad. Of course, I say that and I draw that track, so right. I think this is a ball. Sure. I think they're trying to stifle us. Could Chancellor be good on the play since they can't bolt your elves T1? Good question. Um, my stance on that card is probably going to be similar to my stance on Leyline the Void. I don't think we should leave things to variance when we're the favored one, if that makes sense. Like I like more variance when I'm unfavored. And I think this matchup we're favored, so I don't want to increase variance of drawing a random ley line, drawing a random chancellor in the middle of the game. I think if I feel like a dog in the matchup, then sure, I want to. Yes, because you're not. Because otherwise it's going to be tapped later on. I think here we just like spew things out. One kicker is I believe we want to keep up endurance just in case. Like I think I want to be able to play endurance through days and deal with the troll there. Like this higher is not gonna matter, so it's pitch. And one damage is not worth like losing to a troll here. They probably have to deal with the artisan, to be honest. It's so good because you have so much mana now with Knight or with the Reliquary, with Wight of the Reliquary. It was in the 5-0 list too, Jobs. This is what I mean, right? Here we go. Take them off the clock here. In case they have the push for the artisan, which they probably do. Explosives on one, sure. I actually don't think that's going to be relevant. So we could. Is that or like tick down on the Void Walker, right? I'm like debating here. We could get Gris and tick down. I like don't load that play though because like, if they like reanimate the, well, I guess we have a Reclaimer up. Yeah, maybe just get Wight here. It's just too good, maybe. If I tick down here though, yeah, let's get the white. If you want to pop the E, then it'd be our guess. So if they want to pop their EE here, we're probably just gonna bog in response because we want to deal with the troll. And I think given with white now, we can probably race the Voidwalker. Yeah, they want to pop the thing they can. Hey Mike, how's it going? It's going well. I think we just bog now in case they have to reanimate. Could they main phased it? We lost our first match of lands, but we also drew pretty poorly. Mm. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, Jack. Like, we're just gonna run them out of removal. Ticking down, not ticking down is now potentially gonna hurt me. Yeah. Question, then we have no pressure is the only thing. Sure. It's in our yard. Nothing relevant, I think, on their end. Not the card I want to draw right now. 2 lands, okay. I think we're losing this race now. How awkward. When all we need to do was just tick down instead of getting the white. Just like... I don't think so. I don't think it changes anything. I guess we could like... I guess we could have like grist and tick down, just like lose a whole board, but like... I should not have done that. That's bad. I'm just playing now. I think they're in hard cast force territory. Could be days. We'll play around that. Actually, maybe we should just got the grist. I'm like playing so poorly right now. Actually, I didn't need to do that. I effed up this game badly. I punted twice already. See, if a bad player like me can win with this deck, then anybody can too, right? Alright, I guess we would have been dead anyways with the grief hardcast here. Yeah, we're dead now. The seizes, that seize was horrendous, and that is what I get for disrespecting this kind of tempo scam deck. Okay. Do we want seize or we want the random Chancellor that we just drew right now? What is better, seize or a random Chancellor? Actually, they can reanimate our Chancellor. That's pretty bad. That is pretty bad. The good thing is, like, this is an educational stream, right? And not like we're going for the 5-0 anymore. We already lost the first round. Yeah. That's it just occurred to me. I just don't want to draw the hoof. I think it's like horrendous. They're also not on the Entomb package, so what was I gonna say? They're not on the Entomb package, which means like we're just not respecting their like we can play like more tempo way instead of playing more defensively. Like right now, I think we're just gonna like vomit three creatures on the board turn 2 because they decided they're gonna keep a ponder against us. Like seems pretty bad. Oops. All right. I was gonna go boom boom boom, but like I think now we put the onus on them to just like answer our board. We're just gonna vomit out bombs. Like we have 2 threats that can win the game by themselves, and I think our opponent is just like way too far behind. I think the game might already be over. Like what are they gonna do? Push our white? Like we have an untapped reclaimer. The game's over. EE on 1. All right. That's not too bad. What are we doing here? We can't play any more 1-drops. That's for damn sure. I apologize for the slow play. My opponent is like 6 minutes ahead. That's like unacceptable on our behalf. They're gonna pop the EE, sure. I don't think it really matters which one. Get the cradle. Yeah, this game is already over. We're just so far ahead. Should vomit our hand. This game is over. This is a must force, right? We won this game on turn 2. Like, we're on the play. They for some reason kept the ponder turn 1 hit play. Like, they just lost the game on the spot. Like, that's what Legacy is now. It's like, you have to win on 1 or 2, in my opinion. Alright, we're going to bump that up. Just bash. The thing about this, why it's so much better than Artisan, besides being mana efficient, is Vigilance means it's defensive too, in nature. Maybe my, yeah. This game was, like I said, over on turn 2. Alright, I'm going to pull up the list and then use the restroom. I think the moral of that match was, as much as we want to, you know, try to beat combo, I think we still need to have enough relevant cards against Delver so we can just like not have bad cards in. Like that Thoughtseize just felt horrible. I think as much as we want to, you know, cut corners, so to speak. I don't know what this person plays normally. It looks familiar, but it's like generically fine. Nice scam matchup again. We have our green Force of Will here, right? If we hit a 1-drop here, we're gonna double spell. If not, we're gonna make efficient use of our mana and play the Reliquary. Because if we go dork and they do it again, we're just like behind, right? They're still on Bowmasters. They're like not in with the times, right? It could daze this, but that's why it's important to play enough 1-drops. We wanted to really double spell that turn, and we had to run the Wight in to be mana efficient. Okay. It could daze again. I don't think. I think we want the ramp. They could Bowmasters us here, but like, I don't think I'm playing around that. Of course, punished. There's an there's an argument to be made. Like, maybe we got greedy. We're supposed to get Reclaimer there, turn on the Guy's Cradle, so that we can Endurance next turn. Ugh. Ultimate pun. Like, this person is still on the old version, so maybe we just have to assume that, you know, not everyone's caught up with the new tech. But yeah, I caught it immediately. We probably should just got Reclaimer. Guarantee that we're going to resolve an Endurance next turn, or at least cast an Endurance. Maybe not resolve. Well, not even that. We could just like start blocking with the Reclaimer, right, and then setting up our mana by getting the Mortuary and then making sure we hit more land drops. We're probably gonna lose this first game because of that mistake now. Rainstorm, sure. Don't get to do this too often, but maybe we get lucky. That's 5, 6, 7 damage. I think we need to try to do it now. We lost this game because of the wrong tutoring. For the we should have got Reclaimer and played it safe. We just assumed that they would not have more than one Bowmaster because just assumed that they would have the new technology, but you know what happens when you assume. It makes no sense why they fetched there. Makes makes no sense why they fetched there. Actually, they knew that I guess the second card down from brainstorming the previous turn. My line was if we untap with the Hierarch there, I guess it's not the worst line. We can double spell, right? We can go Wight into Endurance. All right. That's okay. Our out is natural order here, as it always is. Natural order? No, we're dead. All right, let's try to play tighter. Again, if a bad player like me can win with this deck, anybody can, right? Again, we don't see any red cards. I think we're just gonna like keep in the natural order package. Just do that. I don't think I want to board and snuff out and then just like not have. There you go. We could lose now. We're in danger, right? We lost game one now. Were we on the play? No, they were on the play. So I don't like hate the line that we took for what it's worth. Like if we untap with the Hierarch there, and the only thing that's different is like Bowmasters obviously hits it, but we saw one already. It was like, what is the odds they're gonna have a second one? And we don't know their lists, but I would just assume most people are off the card now because it's kind of not good, right? But I didn't. I don't like. I think our line is fine, right? We go Hierarch and then we can double spell, right? Like Reliquary into Endurance, and then if either resolve, we probably win. Granted, they probably force the Reliquary if they have the force and don't have removal, and then we can't, cast the Endurance anyways. But the thing is, like, if we went with a Reclaimer line, we're probably not going to run Endurance into Daze as well. And I just feel like we're just too far behind mana-wise. And also, they had every chance. Well, yeah, I don't think we would have ran the Endurance into Daze there. So we could have, yeah, I think we just been pretty far behind tempo-wise. Nope. That is the problem with keeping in the natural order package, right? Hypothetically speaking, I've been asked, like, if there are too many black creatures that we care about, like, are we gonna... If there's too many black creatures that we care about, are we going to, cut or trim the number of snuff out copies? I think what people don't realize right now is, like, for Cradle, this is like a golden age in terms of removal. Like, that we get to run snuff out, like, kind of without price for such a long time. If that makes sense. Alright, I think... I don't want to run... We know they have at least 2 Bowmasters. I don't want to run the Artisan into Bowmasters, so I'm going to lead with the Wight. And that way they have to deal with this, and then once they deal with it, the Artisan is, like, free, right? Quote, quote. Nope, they missed. They hit our lair. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think I care. We're for sure blocking the attack. I maybe that's maybe that's a stifle. I don't know. Looks like it is. All right, sure, that's fine. I actually don't think it matters because we have the cradle here. Without a creature in yard, I think we still, don't run the artisan out yet. People under stifles, like as if it's like 2012. That's one thing I think I don't like about Legacy anymore. It just feels like everybody's playing, or the best way to win now is just only playing cheese decks. Like a lot of intricate play, I feel like has been like removed. Maybe that's better. Like the barrier to entry is lower, I guess, in that sense. Maybe like not everybody enjoys. I guess matches like DNC, right, where you have to think out every turn, or what is it called? If you're playing like a the old school Doomsday deck with DDFT, right? Doomsday Fetchland Tendrils. Maybe not everybody enjoys that kind of gameplay. I think this game is over for what it's worth. We have two knights on the board and they don't have any pressure. There's no reason to. There's no reason to activate here. Do I want an endurance? Probably. Just bash with everything. There's really no punishment. Two on the board is like an absolute nightmare. Like their removal spell is like dead, and they just cannot get them off the board. So here's a Hail Mary, like trying to dig for a Murktide. Actually don't even think Murktide like matters at this point. We could like bog them preemptively, I guess. Just like cut their outs, so to speak. Yeah, I mean we're like miles ahead. Again, if we had drawn a Thoughtseize there, it's probably a disaster. So that is, again, I think it's not lopsided enough where I feel like I can just draw a dead card and still win. Especially since this attracts is like dead, right? Like given these builds now, which is cutting Delver, cutting red. So that is, I guess, the big takeaway, right? Like if they are just Delver but minus red, and we can't board and snuff out because it's like a little too dicey. Maybe, actually, maybe snuff out is not the worst. What are we thinking? Yeah, let's do that. I think I like it actually. Like they have Delver, they have Murktide. It doesn't hit Frog, but like it's tempo positive instead of tempo negative like Seizes. Again, the turn one pawn. This is more like acceptable because they're on the play. I just felt like our last opponent, like on the draw, like I get that they kept the EE hand, but it's just like you're not doing anything until turn three. I think given that we drew another land here, I'm just gonna fetch safely here. Just make sure we hit land drops. If we fetch Bayou and they go force into waste, that's a disaster. Probably Bowmasters. Like that's fine. I don't think I care. Frog. Okay. I think we just give them. They're gonna attack. We're gonna give them the. We're gonna give them the card. That's fine. They can have their Baleful Strix. And then we have mana afterwards to cast 2 endurances. Hey Ramon, how's it going? Here's my socials. Oops. I think they need to answer that Reliquary, right? Like, I guess they tried it, Murktide us, but sure. Sure. That is a very good draw. They're tapped out, so I'm just gonna endurance right now. They're gonna force. I think while they're tapped out, we're just gonna play a second one. They want to daze if they can. I'm just gonna like double block if need be. Since they're tapped out. I'm starting to get the feeling endurance is very good against Frog. And then we have a looming natural order too, right? So I think the baubles are probably the best. Like even though they're not great against combo or not as good as I would like, the fact that it's good enough here. Oh hell yeah, we're blocking. If they double pitch, we've won the game. Assuming we don't draw a set card. Uh, do we want? I think we want to nuke them first. Oops, not yet. Actually, yeah, that's fine. It's gonna be 4 regardless. There's no way, right? Yeah. Okay. Easy peasy. I think we draw C's or Snuff out there. It's kind of a disaster. So again, like, how confident do you feel about the Delver matchup? If you feel pretty good, just like don't respect him, right? Big middle finger to you. I don't even need enough cards in the matchup like we did right now. But the fact that we won only 2-1, I don't think I want to accidentally lose to them in a big tournament. I would feel bad. So I think I still want like decent mapping. I don't want to like just have 2 random dead cards, right? Like this Oof and this Cradle need to come out. And the Snuff Out was like maybe okay. I felt like they boarded out blue cards, so like the Strand are Snuff Outs. You could board in C's. It's like kind of bad we drew it there, right? Um, yeah, I think you just board in like Baubles or whatever you want to play. Veil of Summer, like that's like another anti-con. Like essentially, you want that slot to like just be playable against Delver and have some applications against combo. Is all. Nope, that's a mode of 5 already. This person is like a Maverick player usually, or like they usually play like Crazy Brews. Two underground C players dead already. So good for a good night so far. I think we just take the hierarchy. I think the whole thing is like we just want double spell, right? Like just go boom boom. Uh, like if they kill the hierarch, we can still go boom boom next turn, and it's like a pretty good turn. And obviously the dream scenario here is just a bomb in our hand, right? Looks like they are on some kind of Maverick or like depths deck. Trawler, interesting. They are either on a modified Oops version build or they are on modified Goblins build. There's no way they're playing. They're probably on a modified Oops build. If if I were to guess, nobody's playing Trawler with Once Upon a Time in. No, never mind. I take that back. Why would they? Interesting. I guess with F6, right? Like they have it. Also, thank you, Ramar. Hopefully your stream went well, right? All right, they got the scam on us. No biggie. I think our resources are better than theirs, so I don't want to trade with their grief. They can bash through a turn, I think. If we can't beat them before like 5 turns, we deserve to lose. Hmm. Okay. What are they pitch? Probably the trawler. Yeah. So I think they're just using this as just like an, to thin out their deck so they have fewer lands or they have more gas essentially. If that makes sense. They can like pitch lands for grief and potentially other shenanigans. Sure. If they op agent me there like out of nowhere, I would have been kind of mad. They can waste that if they want. I don't think I care. Bowmasters. They didn't get the memo. What do we? I don't think I want it. I think it's probably Reliquary, right? I think it's huge at the moment. Also, PSA, I guess, if are waiting for a ban on grief or whatnot, but you don't know what to play in the meantime, I would highly recommend green decks at the moment. Like, you have Force of Vigor, so you're not just dead to Necro, uh, and you have like you're probably favored. Every green deck I've seen is favored against these scam decks, so that is my pick at the moment, and it's not even a homer pick either because I do think that new Cloud Post deck is probably very scary. I think if you want something more traditionally green, I think this deck is probably very good. Uh, I would recommend Depths, but I think I'm biased, but I think our deck just has better matchup profiles than Depths. I think Depths has a hard time beating combo, but maybe the other combo decks are suppressed at the moment. Also, Depths has a hard time beating Control, so that again maybe Control is suppressed again at the moment. Um, I would be curious. I feel like Red Stompy is probably still very good. I'd be curious how their combo matchup is against like Necro. Probably not as good as they would like, is my guess. Traditionally, they're very good against these Storm decks, but Negro's a little bit different because they're so consistent going off turn one. Like Ancient Tomb has traditionally been very good against combo, but maybe it's a little different at the moment. You kidding me? All right. Okay. Sure. They probably still bash. Yeah. See, I think I would have. If you're on a non-blue G, so good question. I think it depends on two different things. I think how popular it is a big thing. Uh, so this would be a 6 6 7 7 and just like maybe destroy this whole board. Is that what I want? There's one of the scenarios where Sajiri Steep is better, right? This is a must block here for them. It's just depending on how they want to block. I need to debate this. We can like clear the whole board. It's just whether that's worth the attack. I feel like we just do it. Okay, they took it safe because they don't know what kind of shenanigans we have. Oh, actually, to answer Mac's question, so the thing is, like, Force of Vigor is already very good against, at least for this deck, against some of your other very 50-50 matchups. So, for instance, the Moon Stompy matchup is like can go either way in my opinion, depending on the list and whatnot. I think the lands matchup obviously like it benefits from this Force of Vigor as well. So it's not like you're just running that. Like I hate. I'm not somebody who subscribes to running. I'm not somebody who subscribes to running. What is it called? Like very narrow sideboard cards. Like I essentially I want all of my sideboard cards to do like three different things or whatnot because like just using mathematics, right? Like I just like assign an EV value to each sideboard card and just like if it doesn't have a high number, I usually don't run it. Like I'm not somebody who runs choke, for instance, because like I don't think you need it. I'm not gonna block that. So did it just freeze? No. Oops. If they want to hit the cradle, that's fine. I don't think it changes anything. Like they're more than welcome to hit the cradle. Bowmasters would be annoying because like it's two more chump blocks. So if they tap out, maybe we're in the clear. I don't know. The funny thing is like we're out of we can block the troll now. They can stop that by bowmastering our high art though. I think we take this trade. Interesting. The way that they've assigned blockers. What is going on here? They can't. Oh, oh my God. Maybe they have an opposition agent? I think I just let this resolve. I'm curious why they chose to block like that. Unless they have an edict. That's the one other thing I guess it could be. Sure. I was like trying to think what the hell could they have, right? Like that's not good. Was there? Am I supposed to just take that? I could have had another land, but maybe that was greedy. Mm, I think I just pass. Attack. Yeah, I think I attack. I can go to 6. That's not a big deal. Oh my god. What the hell? Okay, that. I'm not playing around. I guess I'm supposed to anticipate that card, but like, I was like, what can they possibly have? Alright, that's a punt on my behalf. Maybe we just cannot. Maybe we just always assume they have some random thing. Well, my fault. Now we're like susceptible to edict, like because of that play. That is annoying. So they must have an answer, right? Like they just because now it's lethal. Okay. They take my grist. Sure. So the ephemerate, no targets. Maybe they flash out the white and then like I don't know. It feels like they're drawing dead, but I could be wrong. We go to 2, right? They phase out that white. Okay. Bowmasters is like we lose, but I guess we'll see, right? What could they possibly have here? Bowmasters? Yeah. Okay. We lost because we attacked. Like I needed another creature. I needed another creature so that I can like chump block the one bowmasters and then like flash out the thing. Ugh, that's aggravating. Yeah, this is a punt on my behalf. All right, lesson learned. Just cannot believe this. Lesson learned, I guess. What the heck do they even have? Yeah, but then I don't have a blocker for the dog. That's the problem, right? I needed another creature. If I didn't lose my Hierarch, we don't have a chump block for the dog. Okay. I feel like they're gonna play Containment Priest for sure. They're playing the dog, like these flash effects. Endurance probably not. We saw that they're ephemerate deck, so that's like gonna be very annoying. Uh, I feel like we need to seize that. I don't think we can beat ephemerate. We're not favoring this kind of matchup. We like full on through that game. Full on through that game. Maybe not force. Well, I feel like this is not gonna be an artisan game. Like they had too many spot removal. We're not gonna be able to like do anything with it. Yep. Punt number 1 of the day. It's like insane on the play, but they have swords. It's like way worse. Yeah, I don't think we can keep this. Ugh, I'm mad at myself. That was highly preventable. That's what I get for not respecting our opponent. We just assume they don't have anything. I think we just take... the reanimate? I'm just trying not to get blown out by these ephemeral lines. Like I don't want to play against this kind of deck because Snuff Out is like very dicey, right? Ugh, threw the game one for no reason. Good learning experience though. So yeah, if I didn't lose that, the line would be have the dog block the have the reclaimer block the dog and then phase out the bowmasters and then we win, right? Assuming their hand was not relevant. They needed to top deck a relevant card too, so they hit kind of like run or two, but it should not have been in that situation. Like we had the game locked and just well not locked, but we just like threw away a creature that ended up mattering for no reason. They probably Thoughtseize here because if they don't use it now, it's I mean they don't have another play, right? It's gonna be dead. So they use that. They're gonna seize here. All right, we're both empty-handed. The good thing, the reason why these our deck is like favored against these scam decks is like they often successfully scam, but the problem is like our top decks are better than theirs, so we just like draw out of it, so to speak. Like all our threats are bombs, right? Like Reclaimer, Reliquary, and even like the remaining Artisan that we played out that's not even like good enough anymore. It's just all bombs. Like at some point you draw a natural order. That's the other thing, right? It's just like the big over the top card that they cannot beat. Maybe they seize our hand. I don't know. Sure. Shields are down for a turn if we draw a natural order. Not great. This is the danger of the snuff out, right? Like maybe just not bank on it. Maybe they just like board into all black creatures, and we keep the endurance set, which is like at least not great, but at least has text and can raise the Voidwalker, especially with Exalted. So like our alternatives here is just like play two Artisan and Endurance, and honestly, that's probably better than what we did. We probably misboarded, but again on high tilt after just like throwing game one for no reason. The good thing is the more mistakes I make. Actually, anybody who points out a mistake again, like I mentioned this on stream before I do, it's 120 play points, right? So please participate. Last stream, we 5-0'd. I didn't play perfectly. I made mistakes, but nobody pointed out anything, so I wasn't able to give out the promos. Uh, do they have priests? What do they possibly have here? Like, am I supposed to seize their hand? Like, why do they have four cards in hand? Is what I want to know. Like, I'm trying to think, what could they possibly have? Maybe like a Solitude Ephemerate line, in which we have the answer for already. I feel like we just take the green side here and just like have a million threats. Maybe that's greedy, I don't know. I'm trying to see how we lose. I just don't see it. Sure. When they attack, like what am I even caring about? I guess they can like attack both. Like, do I care? I guess is the thing. I can never block. I is the problem. Like, cause they can always blink the trawler. Yeah, I better get rid of this. It's gonna be annoying. I better get rid of it. It's gonna be annoying. I was just like the only question is like I'm trying to like future play so to speak like how this is gonna play is it's gonna potentially keep targeting my tracks and I don't want to actively have to activate my reliquary if I don't need to. All right. Given how that played out, the snuff out was relevant. I actually don't think endurance is going to be great. Like, obviously, there's a high variance, but when it's good, it's probably going to be very good. The dog, like, whatever mad, like, what else can they do? I guess, right? Like, it's not great if they hit a solitude. They could have containment priest. Like, that's where the snuff out would have been good. Maybe it's like this. Endurance. Problem is like endurance is a flash 3/4. It's not that great. That's maybe that's good enough. Maybe that is good enough. It has like two really good cards, so maybe that's good enough. I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous. Turn one swamp is usually Dark Ritual Agent. they do it anyways. I don't know. Wow, interesting. Um, Jesus. So they're gonna have a turn two troll. I think the only thing we're well, I think we just take the one white card probably. Let me think about that. They're gonna have a turn two troll, and then attack, and then a turn three troll. But then we're gonna have a turn three Atraxa. They draw Solitude is like really bad. I think that's the line to take the Ephemerate. Their hand is quite redundant. Sure. So we go to 12 here, and they have a second troll. If they tap out, I guess we just hoof them, right? Maybe that's the line. Yeah, I kept the hoof in the deck, so maybe that's just a line. We just like hope they don't have swords, right? Like just they just miss off swords, or and discard. We just gotta clench for one turn. Clenching. Oh, we know their hand. This should be game. Right, they have one Reanimate left, they have the Trawler left, and they have the Scrubland. For some reason, they chose to play the flats. Probably because playing a Trawler does no use, and they want to just have the Scryland. But they don't know we have lethal. Not that it would have mattered. As Max said, right? Like, this is for the content. We just have to dodge one thing happening. I don't want to jinx myself. There's one thing we can lose this game. Sure. Wait, what? How? Did I just not, like... Maybe I just, like, forgot, but... Okay, that changes the math. Oh my god, I did not... I thought we had the game wrapped, and then I didn't... I must have just, like, forgot to exit out. I thought they had no more relevant cards. So they drew the swords. Yeah, I don't think there's an out now. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Well, actually, no, that's not true. That's not quite true. No, I take that back. There's an out. I might have spoken too soon. Yeah, there's an out. But we need a fade to draw from them. Miss, please. Okay, why did they have to put it on top? Jesus. Can they not draw like bombs every turn? Wait, do we know their? I keep getting confused. Like, if we know their hand. Need to pay more closer attention. See what they do. Sure. Please just play the trawler and pass. Thank you. I think we got it. Don't screw me. Thank you. Talon Gates won the game. We almost like forgot about it. All right. We're really doing it for the content today, right? A bunch of 2-1s. Like, I almost forgot about that line. It's like, wait a minute, we're not dead. Let's go. We still have the fog in our deck, right? All right, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. Still have the fog in the deck. That's true, Max. It did clutch it out. I threw game 1 and And you know, game three, the Magic Gods were like, well, guess we owe you one. Like, you're not supposed to play against a dog in Legacy, right? It's not Odyssey block with Wall Mongrel. Where did I put? Oh, I'm gonna get my water. All right. The thing is, like, I'm on the play. I probably would keep this on. I probably would keep this on 6, so whatever. Another thing I thought about when I used the restroom was, for the most part, this is just like the backup natural order target. Almost always we're gonna get Natraxa, but against combo and against in racing situations, yeah, this can come up. So not completely obsolete about Atraxa. Most cases, I would just go for Atraxa, like especially against some fair deck. I know that just like can't kill me out of nowhere. Just it's almost always right to just get Atraxa and just drown them card advantage, right? Like it's a 1.5 dig through time. But every once in a while, like against combos specifically, and against like these weird racing situations where it matters. I couldn't block the trolls, for instance. Regardless, we're gonna be positive tonight. Our loss was to lands. We like won over two scam decks. I think the matchup is like pretty favorable as long as you just don't draw these random dead cards. And especially if they're gonna move to these just like no red straight Demir builds. Um, like there's one liability already in the deck. That's Atraxa, right? I don't want to introduce like random snuff outs that are dead or some random Thoughtseize that are just like dead because they empty their hand or because like we should like fall behind tempo wise. So I think maybe Bauble is just it, right? Like you have your Allosaur Shepherd that's colorless. Not that it matters. I guess you can cast it off Bog, but you have your colorless Shepherd that is not weak to Bowmasters and can cantrip like later on if need be. And that doubles as random hate. Obviously not as good as like Mind Break Trap or some of these other cards, but the fact that you can just like roll control with it too is pretty big, I think. It's actually probably not even that great against control because like what it just hits 4 forces. It's not even that good, right? So there's a reason why I cut Allosaur Shepherd too. Like I think that card is I don't know about right now, but like at least definitely before, it was number 2 in my most overrated legacy card. Number 1 is Surgical Extraction. Like a lot of people don't see when Shepherd's just a 1 mana 1/1. And I just think you want in the legacy you just need all your cards to be live, right? It's at its best, obviously, against. Actually, it's not even great against Chalice, in my opinion, because a lot of these Chalice decks just board out Chalice against you now, right? Like it's not even that good. It's at its best against, in my opinion, blue combo decks, like Force of Will combo decks. Doomsday, Show and Tell are probably where it matters the most. Man. Oh, it's gonna be mana inefficient. I think I have to do it this way, just like. I'm glad I did it that way, right? Well, I was gonna do that anyways. Talon Gaze doesn't do anything there. Okay, that's fine. They have a dead Reclaimer, so that's nice. They probably have the combo in hand, if I were to guess. So we don't have much time. That is a card. Let's see what they get. This Collector Oof could like really ruin them here because they might not expect it. There's a chance this Collector is just gonna be like game breaking here because it's a Stone Rain that they're not gonna see coming. This is an interaction that I had not even considered, which is you force the activated ability creature, maybe that's Reclaimer, maybe that's Mom, into like doing something they don't really want to do. Usually you're gonna target their hate bear or whatever, right? But alright, that's fine. I think. So I'm gonna screw up their mana now. That mana just like completely messed up the game plan. I don't know their hand. I'm only speculating, but I feel like Saga is not what you want when you only have one land. I'm pretty sure that's probably a time walk. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like based on how slow my opponent is playing now, that's probably a time walk, which has happened. Again, the 3 damage doesn't matter. We have the natural order. That is annoying though. We missed land drop. Here's where it actually it doesn't even matter. If we got the Queen Ranger, we're still short mana. We can't really attack. I mean, we could, but it's not really worth it, right? They have redundant Reclaimers. There's just like no reason to try to like kill the Reclaimer there. Or just pass. See what they do here. They probably wrote. Well, I don't even know. It's possible they get like a needle or something. I don't know. They might rotate the Saga. It seems kind of bad. No, they're opting to tutor here. What are they getting? Merit Lage, maybe? I mean, oh, they're gonna bog me. Interesting. Seems kind of shaky. Sure. I don't get what bogging me. That has to be a misplay. I don't understand that line at all. There's like nothing of relevance in the yard. It's got to be a misplay. Sure. What are they getting? I better do it now. Like, you never know. It's gotta be a needle on artisan. That's like way too scary, right? have to imagine that's the line. Yeah. I think it's game. I don't know what's going on. Like, I feel like this game's an asterisk. Like, the bog just doesn't make any sense. Like, maybe it doesn't matter, but, like, it just doesn't do anything, right? That's like one of the benefits of these creatures. Like, it relies on the graveyard, but not really. It's not why it's strong. Sure. That, again, also doesn't do anything against us. Alright, we just hoofed him here. We didn't even have, like, the best hand, to be honest. Like, why can't we attack? There we go. It's lagging. Alright, let's take the bad cards out and put the good cards in. The funny thing is, the Vexing Bauble was like bad against us game one, but maybe it's like relevant. Like we have like the snuff outs that are like pretty good against them. I don't think I want endurance. It doesn't really do anything. So funny. This collector ooch is like randomly very good there. Hey David, yeah, yeah, I like recognize your username. I just like was blanking on your name for the chat. I mean, your real name, I guess. Not nor do I want to like accidentally reveal it if you don't want me to. But yeah, good games. I like threw game one for no reason. I'm sure like there was like a thing here or there you could have changed for yourself as well. Do I want to bog in this matchup? Like lands are pretty good against their deck. Um, Endurance, yeah, like just the chump block one time, it's just like kind of loose in my opinion. I don't think any of this other stuff. Like this card has been bad, but granted we didn't play against combo, right? What was that sound? But yeah, I didn't really like the fact that I could just like leave myself susceptible. I don't want to lose a Delver like when one of the reasons to play this deck is just like 70-30 matchup against Delver, right? Or 80-20 even. You don't want to accidentally lose a Delver when the whole reason to play this deck is Delver. Or not the whole reason, but the strongest argument I would say is to be Delver. The second strongest argument is probably you have a not a lopsided but a favorable scam matchup. Only because you could just lose the nut hands and whatnot, right? This is a mulligan. 5 land hand. Basically, I'm 1 of 5 already. I think we have to keep. Regretting the bog already. Interesting. Sure. Kind of expected that to happen actually. No green? They must have a knight hand. So the heuristics have changed, right? Like before you would probably play an arbor. Here now the draw of the mortuary is just too strong. Oh my god. What is our opponent doing? I mean, I don't want to judge, but like that doesn't seem right to me. That's more around the bottom. Also, since it's coming up right now, If you are unsure whether to keep or not, if there's any doubt, just bid. That means the card's not good enough. If you don't, if you even have to think. This is probably over. Actually, they could, I guess, in theory, have I don't know, turn 4 Merit seems slow, but I guess it's possible. No, there's okay, maybe I guess it's not over then. What a strange game. Like I don't think I'm supposed to go for Reliquary there. I don't know. What a strange game though. Oops, that was a mistake. I'm supposed to attack with the token. Not that it matters. I attack because I want them to feel like we have something up our sleeve. This can happen with this matchup. Like, we just have to hope the Snuff Out lines up, and it did not this game. The problem is, like, Force of Vigor is just even worse. Alright, we're just dead. Alright, sorry to doubt you, opponent. I guess you were right to keep that hand. We did more to 6 for what that's worth, and our 6 was already shaky. I'm not sure there's really anything we could have done about that game because they had one removal spell and seemed to have more, right? 5 cards in hand. What we really need to happen is for them to have their creature hands and we to have Snuff Out. The bog felt loose there. I think I just rather have the creature. Maybe that's it. Like obviously we don't have great mapping. Here's actually one of the scenarios where the bauble matters because I could have cycled. I would probably board in bauble in this matchup and like cut the collector and cut the endurance, which we drew. I guess the bog takes the endurance place, right? Like this is like one of the matches where the bauble matters, just as just a rebuy, right? But that's hey Bilderberg, how's it going? We're doing good. Yeah, we're having a good stream so far. I mean, like independent record, we're still 3-1. Lost our first match, and then won 3 straight since. We're probably wrapping up right now. Why must this always be here? I think we keep just off the Snuff Out alone. I don't love it, but like this is like a decent hand. That got better with the hierarchy. They want to waste us. I think that's probably okay. It's just like didn't do anything right. I mean, obviously they could have Mox Diamond start. Like then I'll probably regret it. The thing is, like, I want to keep. The thing is, I want to keep the Verdant Catacombs for Mortuary. That's okay. We're kind of ahead. Oh my god. Now we're really ahead. The game may be over. Like this is the most answer now. That's not gonna do it. All right, I think the game's already over. Cool. We have just secured the win. No snuff out, but like we have 4 permanents and they have 0. So they most definitely named the artisan here. Like that's, but they're still very behind. Now we have to draw well. That's the other thing, right? But I mean, I don't think they're gonna name Reclaim, but you never know. They should be named artisan. Like just get the grist on the board, and just like take over the game, right? Hmm. I don't think that 2 extra damage matters. I think I want to hold up Reclaimer. So they're gonna copy a wasteland, or are they gonna do untapped? It just seems. Oh, okay. Okay, I didn't foresee that happening. Guess that's reasonable. Is the deck thinning worth exposing my Reclaimer? Let me think about that. I guess if they want to swords my Reclaimer, like maybe that's okay. What are we getting here? Oh, we can get a lair. That'll make for a faster clock. Yeah, what am I doing? That's the blind. I could get a mortuary too. That's the other thing I could have done. Actually, let's just bash all, I think. That's a lot of damage now. This 10, they go to 5. It could swords, but like what could they possibly have here? Might just be game. It's a lot of damage. They kept a really strange hand. They need a swords, like whatever I have. Oh, it's not even gonna matter, right? The lair's doing 1,000,000 damage. Is it over? The user land drop. They could save their swords for the thing, but I'm still coming in for at least 3. Okay. Oh, they have to deal with the. That's so funny. We can animate kill lair. No, we have lethal here. Like, here's why. That's not what I want to do. Cancel. I almost threw this game. Oh, oh, I just realized I can't snuff out my own thing because I don't have a swamp. We could rotate for a. We could rotate for a mortuary and just like see if that's gonna bin for lethal. Let's see. Uh, like if we hit a land here, we win, right? Yeah. Just random lethal out of nowhere, right? Yeah. Okay. Cool. 4-1. Cool. Very high value lead, right? All these 2-1s for the content. All right. I feel like I should be incentivizing some engagement. Nobody like pointed out these mistakes that I mean, obviously I made some, but nobody was able to point it out before I announced him. I guess. How should we? Anybody have any suggestions for viewer engagement? I want to give out these promo code, at least one promo code tonight. Actually, let's do this. What was the least impressive and most impressive card that you've seen? Either that. Actually, let's see. If you can give me something that I can change in the main deck that I think is an improvement, I will give 120 play points. But if nobody can do that within the next minute, I will settle for the best sideboard option that is presented. And I will give 120 play points to whoever I think in real time has the best suggestion for the sideboard or main deck. Let's do that. Obviously, if you're the only entry, you get it for free. You don't have to compete. I'll be back getting some water. Hey, Claymore one, how's it going? How is it going? All right. I am quote unquote raffling off MTGO an MTGO what's it called it? MTGO promo code for 120 play points. Bond jar, that's almost negative points. Everybody who watches me regularly knows I hate Dismember. Sideboard, I think channels are amazing. I assume they're for fast for something castable like Leyline of Sanctity. Yeah, I think so too. After playing the Chancellor, the thing about Leyline of Sanctity is the Necro deck can beat it really easily. They just have more than one Foundation Breaker. Four is not too many. It is significantly better than Artisan. Significantly better. I'm only playing two Artisan just because there's just like two more slots, right? There's like nothing else I can play, and I think it's the best of the rest. I can like if I didn't have enough room, I would just play zero Artisan. But I the thing is like I could have played two Artisan in the sideboard, but this is the Green Force of Will, right? I want to play this main, and I want to have as much hate for sideboard as possible for combo because I think I'm gonna win majority of my fair decks. Obviously, you can lose to nut draws, especially out of these ancient tomb decks. But I think I feel good in most cases if I don't misplay or misplay very little. All right, so David, how close is Bowmasters to being playable in this list? Pre-Modern Horizons 3, I had already cut them. I actually had cut them I cut them immediately after Cass top four the Eternal Weekend in December. She had one copy that she essentially played 74 of my 75. Like the only difference is she had two Shepherd instead of another land. She had the second Shepherd instead of another land, but we had already gone down to one Bowmasters, and it was like by far the worst card. And then like a week later, I just went down to zero and just like haven't looked back. I think the card is not very good in this deck because it really wants to be a green deck, so you can fetch basic force turn one. Obviously, white changes things because it's black as well, but I think the power level of this is like way higher. And Bowmasters is a very reactive card, and I think only good against some subset of the format. Whereas white is always good, similar to how the frog is always good against other decks. Whereas, or maybe not always, but like most cases it is. Whereas Bowmasters is like bad against half the format. All right, so David, I think you're like Loggy SD, right? You get the 120 play points. DM me on Discord or what's it called? DM me on Discord or Twitter, whichever you prefer. Probably Discord is easier, and I will send it to you. I actually think Bowmasters is quite bad against our deck, and the reason being is because all our X1s are one mana. So either you're fetching Green Sun for zero, fetching for Arbor, or these Hierarchs. Like when they Bowmasters me, it's more annoying than anything else. Like, but they're behind tempo, right? They spend 2 mana to kill our 1 mana thing. It's the reason why Abrupt Decay was bad against some of these like elf decks in the past, right? Like you don't want to be behind on tempo, and Bowmaster's not getting past before it was a Fiend Artisan, now it's a Reliquary and a Reclaimer later on, so the bodies don't really matter. It can, like later, like if they have the perfect curve, but my experience is that rarely happens. Alright, and thanks you to Loggy SD for chiming in. Yeah, so that's the thing, right? Like, I think playing today, we drew the Thoughtseize ones that was like kind of awful. I don't think I want to chance losing to these like blue decks. I'm not super greedy enough where I think it's like 90-10 the tempo matchup. So I think I'm just gonna play the Bobbles in this and accept that they're worse against combo. Obviously, if I had like killed my opponent, or not, if I had like won in these more lopsided fashion against Delver, I think I could just like forego two bad cards so to speak. But I don't want to like accidentally lose to tempo when I think it's probably back on the rise with the frog. But definitely something to keep in mind. I had very strongly considered testing the 3 Mind Break traps for this stream tonight, for whatever that's worth. And then I just changed its Chancellor to try something new. It didn't end up really mattering. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and raid Andrea now. Thank you everyone for hanging out, and then I will message you. Make sure to message me, David, for your 120 play points.